What happens when the richest man in the world picks a side in politics, and then that side turns against him? This is the story of Elon Musk and Donald Trump, once unlikely allies, now bitter enemies. It's a saga of billion-dollar deals, political power plays, tax bills, and a feud so public, it shook the stock market and sent shockwaves through the tech world. But at its heart, this isn't just about two egos colliding. It's about how fragile innovation becomes when it's built on government support, and how quickly that support can vanish when politics get in the way. Just a few months ago, Elon Musk was standing beside Donald Trump at political rallies. He had poured in nearly $200 million to support Trump's campaign, amplified his messaging on X, formerly Twitter, and showed up in person to lend credibility to Trump's political comeback. Trump, in turn, praised Musk publicly, even inviting him on stage, saying, "Where is he? Come on up here, Elon." It was the image of a powerful partnership. Musk was seen as the tech genius driving America forward, while Trump was the political engine promising to break the system and rebuild it for innovators like him. But in just 10 days, everything collapsed. The bromance that once dominated headlines turned into a bitter war of words. Trump called Musk a madman. Musk withdrew support. Trump retaliated by threatening to cancel billion-dollar government contracts with SpaceX, Musk's crown jewel in the space race. In one day, Tesla lost over $150 billion in value. And suddenly, the empire Elon spent decades building, Tesla, SpaceX, SolarCity, Starlink, Grok, was walking a tightrope. How did things spiral out of control so fast? To understand that, we need to rewind, not to when the alliance began, but to the foundation it was built on. You see, Elon Musk is often celebrated as a symbol of pure innovation. The guy who made electric cars cool, landed rockets backward, and talked about colonizing Mars. But what most people don't realize is that a huge part of his success wasn't built alone. It was built with the help of the US government. Over the past 2 decades, Musk's companies have received over $38 billion in federal funding through tax credits, grants, and contracts. When you buy a Tesla in the US, you don't just get a sleek car, you get a $7,500 federal tax credit. That's not coming from Tesla, that's from taxpayers. In 2023 alone, Tesla received nearly $3 billion in environmental credits. SpaceX won a $2.9 billion NASA contract to help land astronauts on the moon. SolarCity benefited from a 30% investment tax credit that made solar panels affordable for millions. All of this helped Musk scale his vision and dominate markets. But here's the twist. Almost none of this support came during Trump's presidency. 2/3 of it came under Joe Biden, even though Musk and Biden never quite saw eye to eye. In fact, Musk and Trump initially disliked each other. Trump once questioned whether Musk should even be eligible for the presidency, claiming he wasn't born in America. Musk, for his part, went on X and wrote, "I don't hate the man, but it's time for Trump to hang up his hat and sail into the sunset." So why did Elon change his tune and back Trump? The answer lies in frustration. By the time Biden's second term was underway, Musk's companies were under regulatory fire. Tesla's self-driving features were being investigated. Neuralink's brain chip tests were halted after reports of animal cruelty. SpaceX rockets, ready to launch, were stuck in paperwork limbo. Musk once famously said, "It takes less time to build a rocket than to get permission to launch one." He was tired of fighting the system. So he chose a shortcut, Trump. Trump promised deregulation, faster approvals, lower taxes, less oversight, and he delivered, at least for a moment. He created a new department called the Department of Government Efficiency, or DOGE, and put Musk in charge. The mission was simple: cut $2 trillion in waste, save $1 trillion by September 2025, and slash red tape. The markets went wild. Tesla's stock surged 169%. Musk was back on top as the world's richest man. For a moment, it felt like the perfect alliance. Until Doge collapsed. Within weeks, it was hit with 31 lawsuits. Government workers revolted. Legal experts called it unconstitutional. The courts ruled that Doge had no real power to change regulations. Only Congress could do that. By May, Elon resigned. And just as quickly as the honeymoon began, Trump turned on him. Trump's next move? A policy earthquake. He introduced something called the One Big Beautiful Bill. On the surface, it looked like a tax cut and reform bill. But in reality, it was a dagger aimed straight at Musk's businesses. The bill eliminated the $7,500 EV tax credit, making Teslas immediately more expensive. It imposed tariffs of up to 721% on Chinese batteries. 40% of Tesla's battery supply chain depends on China. Costs would spike. Margins would collapse. Demand would vanish. But it didn't stop there. The bill also threatened to cancel $845 million in future SpaceX launches, questioning whether the contracts were bloated. The government's broadband expansion plan, worth over $42 billion, was put on hold, threatening Starlink's rural internet expansion. The 30% solar tax credit, which had helped SolarCity scale, was also stripped away. Even Grok, Musk's AI engine, wasn't spared. It relied on massive energy consumption from power sources lacking proper environmental permits. If regulators cracked down, its power could drop by 90%, paralyzing the entire operation. One bill, multiple hits, and a cascade of consequences. As this corporate earthquake unfolded, Tesla's stock began to bleed. SolarCity faced stagnation. SpaceX came under scrutiny. Grok could go dark. What started as a political bromance had now triggered a billion-dollar war, and the world was watching. But this isn't just about Musk or Trump. This story reveals something deeper about power, politics, and business. And it leaves us with three crucial lessons. First, innovation builds empires, but policy can destroy them overnight. Tesla didn't lose value because of a competitor. It lost value because of one line in a bill. Second, if the system lifts you, it can drop you just as fast. Elon's rise was built on the back of government subsidies. But those subsidies came with strings attached, and they can be cut. And third, never confuse proximity to power with control over it. Elon Musk thought backing Trump would give him a free hand. But in politics, loyalty is temporary. Influence is rented, not owned. One day, you're an asset. The next, you're a liability. So what happens next? Will Elon Musk's empire survive? Will Tesla recover? Will this battle reshape the future of American innovation? Only time will tell. But one thing's certain. When you build your future on borrowed power, you'd better know who owns the switch. Because eventually, that switch will flip. Thanks for watching. If this story gave you a new perspective, hit that like button. It helps more people find content like this. And if you're curious about how power, money, and tech intersect, make sure to subscribe. We've got more stories coming that you won't want to miss. I'll see you in the next one.